Hey Physique Freaks, how's it going? Coach Scott here. Today we're going to talk about the fastest way to build muscle legitimately. This past year I gained 5 pounds of muscle at 43 years old. This is the most gains I have made in well over a decade. I'd say the past 2 decades. And I believe this approach, which I incorporated in my training for 3 of the past 12 months, had a significant impact on those results. The approach is body part specialization training, which most people kind of save for bringing up lagging body parts, but really I believe it's an approach that can be incorporated in your yearly training plan. It really should be included in your yearly training plan, especially when you're over 40 and have a lot of experience of lifting under your belt. In today's video, I'm going to go into detail about how I structured the 3 specialization training phases into my yearly training plan, as well as why it's so incredibly effective. So what I did was pick 1 major muscle group and 1 minor muscle group, for example, chest and triceps, and absolutely hammered them with volume. We're talking way more volume than you would typically expect to recover from in a training phase. So looking at about 36 to 45 sets per week, and I split those up into 3 training sessions, typically like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So looking at about 12 to 15 sets per workout. The reason my chest and triceps were able to handle that much volume is because all other non-specialized body parts were dropped down to maintenance level volume. We're looking at about 8 to 12 sets per week, and I split those up into 2 different sessions. So somewhere between 4 and 6 sets per workout. In addition to a chest and tricep phase, I also did a back and bicep phase and a leg and shoulder phase. Each phase lasted 4 weeks. It's not something you want to be doing over the long term. This is just a short-term blast trying to cause some super compensation with 1 major muscle group and 1 minor muscle group. So let's talk about the benefits of this approach. And the first being that your body only has so many resources to repair, to rebuild, to grow your muscles. And when you're trying to hit all the muscle groups at once, all those resources are being split amongst all the muscle groups. Each muscle group is fighting for those resources. When you decide to focus on just 1 major muscle group and 1 minor muscle group, the majority of your body's resources, all the fuel and everything you're consuming, all your body's ability to repair, rebuild, and grow your muscles is mostly being directed towards those 2 muscle groups. And it's not just the specialized muscle groups that benefit from this approach. The non-specialized muscle groups benefit in their own way by going through a maintenance phase, which is probably the most neglected training phase among lifters. So while the specialized muscle groups are getting hammered and experiencing the supercompensation effect, the non-specialized muscle groups are allowing themselves to fully recover, to really allow the fatigue to fully dissipate and to resensitize them to future growth. That's one of the biggest benefits of going through a maintenance phase, is resensitizing those muscles. They've gotten so used to being hit with high volume or even moderate volume that they've just become accustomed to it. So now, going through a maintenance phase, they're being resensitized. So the next time you go through even just a moderate training phase, they're going to respond to that training a heck of a lot better. And if you end up doing a specialized training phase for those non-specialized muscle groups, in the next training phase, they're going to experience incredible growth because they're not going to be used to that kind of volume, that kind of stimulation and muscle activation, and you're just going to experience incredible growth. So what I ended up doing this past year was back-to-back specialization phases. So I started with back and biceps for 4 weeks, then I shifted to chest and triceps, and then finished off with legs and shoulders. And it worked obviously exceptionally well. And it truly was a very eye-opening experience. Like I said earlier, you're hitting these muscle groups with way more volume than you ever expect to recover from. 45 sets per muscle group it's a challenge. It's a lot of work. You expect to be sore and fatigued all the time, but because you're bringing those other non-specialized body parts down to maintenance level, it's shocking how quickly you recover from each workout. Each workout you end up really hammering the muscle group, but kind of feeling fresh the next day, and you're ready to get at it 2 days later, which is it's just absolutely shocking to me. In the past, if I was to hit a muscle group with 12 to 15 sets per workout, it usually means a good 5 days to recover between workouts. And here we're only needing 1 day of rest between workouts. So very, very eye-opening experience. So I think what I'll do different this upcoming year is split up the specialized training. So instead of doing them back to back to back, I'll do back and biceps for 1 month, then get to hitting all body parts for 2 to 3 months, and then throw in a chest and triceps specialization, and then hit all body parts evenly for 2 to 3 months, and then finish off with legs and shoulders. So that'll be a little change. I'm anxious to see how that goes and see how my body responds, if it's any different than this past experience of going back to back to back. But I think 3 months of body part specialization. The first 2 months felt great. By the third month, I was kind of ready to hit all the muscle groups evenly. So I think it'll just keep the enthusiasm sky high if you kind of sprinkle them throughout the year. I hope this video has encouraged you to incorporate some specialized training into your yearly plan, and I hope you gain some insights in how to structure one for yourself. If you want to follow the exact same specialized plans that I followed, I'll include some links down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Have yourself an absolutely amazing day. Catch you in the next video.